All right, let's jump right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're unpacking a truly fascinating piece of audiovisual media. It captures the absolute essence and, honestly, the jarring contradictions of one of the world's most dynamic cities. We're looking at a brilliant slice-of-life broadcast from Radio 10 FM. It's this lively morning show that acts as a perfect mirror to the dual realities of Mumbai. On one hand, you've got this polished, high-energy facade of a world-class metropolis, right? And on the other, there's this gritty, chaotic, literal fight for survival happening on the street level down below. So today, we're going to break down exactly how this short broadcast masterfully weaves these two completely different worlds together.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how our journey begins. We're hit with the booming, impossibly cheerful voice of RJ Alex. This quote really sets the stage perfectly, doesn't it? RJ Alex represents the aspiration of the city. He's that polished, upbeat anchor projecting an image of a Mumbai that's awake, moving, and just thriving. This is the Mumbai of glass skyscrapers, big corporate dreams, the whole shebang. But that glossy radio voice? It's meant to sharply contrast with the unfiltered reality of the streets we're about to plunge into. See, the broadcaster's booth might be soundproof and insulated, but his listeners are absolutely not.
Section 1. The scale of the city. Millions in motion.
Okay, before we get into the street-level drama, the broadcast grounds us in some macro statistics, and we really need to look at these to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of what we're dealing with here. 1.8 core. That is 18 million people. RJ Alex drops this staggering number right at the top of the hour just to emphasize the massive crush of humanity sharing one incredibly narrow metropolitan space. I mean, 18 million people packed onto a peninsula. When you hear that number, you kind of have to start imagining the logistical miracle and, let's be real, the nightmare of that many individuals waking up, needing water, needing sanitation, and needing to get to work all at the exact same time. The scale is literally unfathomable, but it's the absolute defining characteristic of Mumbai life.
But how does a massive population like that actually move around? Well, the broadcast points out that nearly half rely on daily train travel. 50%. To put that into perspective, that means roughly 9 million people are surging into the local railway network every single day. They're fighting for space on platforms, squeezing into train cars, and navigating a transit system that is without a doubt the absolute lifeblood of the city. RJ Alex is speaking directly to this 50%, the commuters, because they're a captive audience experiencing a very specific, very intense daily grind.
Moving on to Section 2, Chaos on the Streets, the Unfiltered Reality.
Let's leave that soundproofed radio studio for a second and step right into the alleyways, where the real Mumbai morning is taking place. Suddenly, boom, we're right on the street. Shanta has been filling water since 7 a.m. My number was up. This quote perfectly illustrates the frantic, competitive morning scramble for basic resources. Look, in densely packed neighborhoods, running water isn't some 24/7 guarantee. It's a scheduled event, and when a single tap serves dozens of families, a strict queue is literally a matter of survival. This brief little audio snippet of women arguing over whose turn it is to fill their buckets, it tells you more about the city's infrastructure challenges than a 100-page municipal report ever could. The struggle for water is basically the very first battle of the day.
And that struggle inevitably leads to this. Rada. The background audio is just filled with references to this local slang. We hear characters talking about someone causing a rada in alley number 7 last night. Defining this word is absolutely crucial to understanding the social fabric we're looking at here. A rada isn't just a physical fight. It's a chaotic commotion, an intense, loud argument over territory, resources, or just respect. It's the inevitable friction that happens when 18 million people are pressed way too closely together.
So, the crazy part is how this friction manifests in these bizarre local turf wars. The broadcast captures a hilarious but honestly incredibly revealing exchange involving characters like Pandu and Chaku. Chaku is fiercely guarding a specific patch of dirt, yelling that it's Bai's favorite spot for morning sanitation. Meanwhile, someone else is desperately trying to use that spot only to be chased away. On the surface, sure, it's a comedic moment about open defecation and street-level mafia dynamics. But beneath the humor, it's a stark commentary on the extreme lack of private space. When people have to literally claim a patch of open dirt as exclusive territory just for their morning routine, you realize just how severe the spatial poverty really is.
Section 3. The infrastructure divide. Flyovers versus realities.
All right, back on the air, RJ Alex attempts to pivot to a much more sanitized discussion on macro-urban development. He enthusiastically reports that out of 5 planned flyovers in the city's development program, 3 are already completed and the rest are under construction. This is exactly the upbeat civic progress he's trying to highlight. Flyovers are the ultimate symbol of modern urban development, right? They're these large concrete structures designed to bypass the chaos below, quite literally elevating the city's middle and upper classes over those street-level struggles. It's a shiny statistic meant to make listeners feel really good about the city's trajectory.
But then, a live caller named Mr. Pillow gets on the line, and we get this amazing contrast. Mr. Pillow offers a very blunt reality check. He basically says, yeah, the flyovers and the development are all well and good, but the condition of the public toilets, the sandas, is absolutely terrible. And this right here is the core tension of the entire city. You have top-tier infrastructure for cars up in the sky, contrasted with a dismal failure of basic daily public sanitation down on the ground. And the kicker? RJ Alex immediately cuts him off, awkwardly saying they'll discuss it, after playing Mr. Pillow's favorite song. It's a perfect satirical jab at how the media often just glosses over uncomfortable systemic failures to maintain that upbeat vibe.
Section 4. The Commuter's Reality. As many people, as many stories.
Now, despite the wealth gaps, the infrastructure divides, and those crazy morning radas, there is a unifying thread that pulls the city together. The broadcast closes with this surprisingly empathetic sign-off from RJ Alex. As many people, as many stories, I am one of you who travels by train daily. He sheds that untouchable anchor persona for just a moment and admits that he too is part of that 50% we talked about earlier. He experiences the good and the bad of the daily journey right alongside them. By tying those manic street vignettes back to the universal theme of surviving the daily grind, the broadcast acknowledges something beautiful. Whether you're fighting for water, guarding a spot in an alley, or just trying to get to a microphone, you are participating in the shared, chaotic, but beautiful struggle of Mumbai.
So RJ Alex originally opens his show with a prompt that I actually want to leave you with today. In a train system where getting a window seat is a massive luxury, squeezing into an uncomfortably tight fourth seat is just the norm, and literally hanging by the door is a daily reality for thousands of people, how do you navigate your space? Think about your own city, your own commute, and all the hidden chaos you pass by every single day. We all have our polished outward routines, sure, but underneath all that, what makes your daily journey unique? And what street-level realities are you perhaps driving right over? Keep that in mind the next time you step out your door. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.